Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, coming to you live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, scheduling permitted, to discuss whatever topics you might like to discuss, whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. We are here because God is concerned about that which concerns you. So you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. So we are here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, scheduling permitted, which is always brought to you by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock. The water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is Earth's finest water. And for those of you who continue giving on the give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you who have made a weekly or monthly commitment by giving on the contribution page of our website at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com, we thank you for your commitment and for your support as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. I want to announce to all of our listeners and viewers also that we are not only Facebook Live, we're YouTube Live, we are also on RadioFreeNetwork.com. So you can go to www.radiofreenetwork.com, click on radio. The drop box will come down, click on New Life. We are live for every broadcast, and every broadcast is available to be reviewed. So we encourage you to go to RadioFreeNetwork.com. You're going to see some new things being added to the platform also, and eventually, as I indicated previously, we're going to be expanding into, hopefully the first week of July, expanding into providing music, inspirational music for you for 30 minutes following the Daily Divine Direction broadcast live stream, but you'll still be able to hear inspirational music on RadioFreeNetwork.com. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers. You indicated that your business has survived the pandemic. However, you are prepared and ready to expand your business and will be searching for investors, and you want to know, how do you attract investors to the expansion of your business? Okay, so let me begin by saying this. First of all, I want you to start by changing your language. You know, I was prayerful about this, and everything begins with language. From the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. There's life and death in the power of the tongue. We know that. So we have to act like we know that. And so you can no longer say your business has survived the pandemic. Now, I realize that there are businesses who did not survive the pandemic, but that's not your testimony. You didn't survive the pandemic. You thrived during the pandemic. You pivoted and made certain that you were able to provide goods and services to your customers, and you continue to flourish through the pandemic. That's first and foremost. And when you pitch to investors, that's what you have to help them to understand, that your business thrived right through the pandemic. You know, for some businesses that, as you said, survived the pandemic, revenue dropped off. It decreased. Your revenue was basically flat during the pandemic, but you thrived. Your business thrived during the pandemic. So now you have to say, okay, you're ready to expand coming out of the pandemic. That's how you know that you've thrived, because you could just continue doing what you've always done, but that's not what you're doing. You are prepared to expand your business. Now, the next thing, now that you've made that decision, you have to recognize that as you're searching for investors, you are looking for partners. And the first thing you have to be willing to do is to make God your partner in everything you do. First of all, you have to make God your partner. Now, people may say, well, how do I make God my partner in everything I do? And I'm going to give you some tools to really build on, first of all, your relationship with God. And then second of all, making certain that God is your partner. So you have to make sure that, first of all, you increase your prayer life, because wherever you are in your prayer life right now was good enough for where you are right now. But you're going to have to increase your prayer life to go to the next level. The next thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to, listen, I can promise you this. I don't make any of this up. Everything that God speaks to me, I speak to all of our listeners and viewers. I speak on Sundays. I am convinced that if you stay in the Word of God, that God will speak to you every single day. And the Word of God will give you instruction on what you must do next. I was reading during my daily studies, and I was reading in a passage in the Bible. God began to open my eyes to something that is going to occur 3.5 years from now. God will reveal to you what he wants you to know if you just stay in his word. Increase your prayer life and stay in his word. And then the way that you make God, so that will enhance your relationship. The way that you make God your partner in everything you do is that you pray and you study so that when God opens a door of opportunity, and in your case, expansion, you will make certain that everything you do lines up with the will of God. Now, you might say, well, Pastor, that's a little deep. I don't really understand how to find the will of God. You have to, so we talk about this often. And part of your prayer life has to be, God, open the doors that no man can shut and close the doors you do not want me to enter. And when you're uncertain about a door that opens, you have to be prayerful and say, God, I need you to guide me. I need you to give me instruction. I need you to order my next step. I need you to decide what step I should take. And I want to make certain, this is what you tell God, you have a conversation with him. I want to make certain that my decision lines up with your will. Because my decision has to be your decision for me. It will line up with your will. And then you have to listen. And that's why we meditate 30 minutes every day. You have to listen to hear from God. It might not be today about this, but he'll reveal something else to you about something else, which will inspire you because you know you're hearing from God. And when God reveals to you what lines up with his will, then you have to be ready to take action. Now, here's the thing. You also have to recognize that every investor you do business with is not going to be saved. So they're going to have one thing on their mind, and that is generating revenue, market share, profitability. So your pitch to them has to be, you got to know your audience, has to be directed at what they're looking for, but then you have to pray for them also. You have to pray that God will, make certain that their heart is right. Listen, when you take on a partner, you are getting in bed with someone. And if you lay down with dogs, you'll get up with fleas. In other words, you're entering into a relationship with someone. Now, you might be saying, but it's only a financial arrangement. It's only a business relationship. But you don't want your business to be a disaster. So you want to make certain that God sends the right partner. As you're searching, you want to make certain that the partner you choose, because it's just as important to you that you select the right partner as it is the partner infusing capital into your business. You don't want to just take money from just anybody. Money is available out there. You don't want, and I know a lot of people are going, well, I wish I knew where that was, but money is out there. We just have to know how to access it, and we have to know what we're accessing. Is it the right time to access it? You know, there are a lot of factors involved when you're taking on investors. But you've got to make certain that your pitch shows them the way. Now watch this. Of course you're going to have to address their issues of their desire to get a return on their investment and to get a significant return on their investment. But in addition to that, you have to make certain that when you're pitching to them, you're not just pitching to get their money, but you're pitching to make certain that their personality, their mindset, their disposition all lines up with what you're trying to accomplish. See, the problem with most people when they're searching for investors, they're chasing money. And when you're searching for an investor, you're not chasing money. You're aligning yourself with someone who has the capital to facilitate your vision. We've got to do a better job, and I'm really glad that you asked this question, because there are other listeners and viewers out there who want to go into business, who want to, expand their operations. They want to develop products. They want to develop innovation, but we're going about this all the wrong way, because we're chasing money from investors or business partners, when really we need to make certain that we have the same vision. Now, obviously, the investor's vision is to invest their capital, get a return on their investment, but you also have to make certain that whoever the investor is, that they understand the vision moving forward and that they are willing to be part of that vision before they ever write a check. And then once when you know and you are fully persuaded that this is the right partner for you, the right partner that God has assigned to you to expand your business, then it's time to get in the process of the contract negotiations and the investment itself. There's steps to this. And we have to you can't skip any steps. You have to take steps. If you're going up a staircase and you are on the first step and you decide to jump to the fourth step, there's a possibility that you're going to trip and fall. You've got to take each step one at a time. You've got to make certain that you get your footing so that as you move forward with the expansion, that there's no disruption in your business, and that your business will continue to flourish, and that you will maximize your success, the success of your company, so that you can bring God all the glory. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will place you into our queue so that you can become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G provider at no extra charge. So I want to announce to all of our listeners and viewers, we are in the midst of a free nutritional counseling promotion. You could win free nutritional counseling. All you need to do is listen daily to 3D the Daily Divine Direction broadcast for the key word or the key phrase. Once you hear it, email newlifepastor@comcast.net or text on the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. Email the keyword or key phrase and your contact information. One listener and viewer will be selected on June 30th, 2021 to receive free nutrition counseling from Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, BeccaTheDietitian.com, and you will receive your initial assessment and counsel on the first week of July. And every month following that, you will have one nutrition counseling, and she will make herself available for email support. We want you whole in your body, mind, and spirit. And so this is why we are sponsoring this promotion with BeccaTheDietitian.com, our monthly contributor, Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist. We're going to track your progress, and at the end of the year, the first week of January, we're going to invite you to come on the air and talk about your experience and your progress with your health and wellness. Today's keyword is alpha. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your husband says he wants much more for your lives. However, he does not appear to have a vision for how to accomplish more. And you want to know, what do I recommend? Well, I was prayerful about this, and you indicated that he is watching today also, so I'm going to walk you through this. First of all, to God be the glory. Your husband is at a place in his life where he wants to maximize success. He really wants the term that I often use. He wants to experience the fullness of God. So both of you are watching today. So I'm going to walk you through this, and this will bless some of our listeners, other listeners and viewers also. But, you know, to God be the glory that you desire more for your family. Again, there's steps to this. So the first step is to maximize your success. How do you maximize your success, both personally and professionally? You give 100% of the time. Every single day, you've got to be willing to give 100% of yourself to your family and to your career. All right. But your wife is saying, who sent in the communication, is saying you don't appear to have a vision for how to accomplish more. So you're working hard, but she doesn't see the vision. You are going to need to ask your husband to show you the vision. He has an idea in his mind of how he's going to accomplish more for your lives. You just don't see the vision. It's not that he doesn't have one. He hasn't really articulated it clearly to you. He hasn't sat down and wrote out a 7-year plan, a 14-year plan, a 21-year plan, like we've talked about here on the broadcast. And I know you're relatively new to the broadcast, so you may not have even seen that yet or heard that yet. You can go back and view some of the archives. We talk about these things consistently, developing a 7-year plan, a 14-year plan, and a 21-year plan. So the first step to accomplishing more for your lives is to really write the vision and make it plain. Write out the 7-year plan. And then work that plan. Once you find that you achieve success in that plan from year to year, then it's time to maximize your success. on the way to experiencing the fullness of God. So you've been working hard. You've been putting your best foot forward. But your best foot forward is not 100%. Your best foot forward is what you always learned, which is, your husband's learned to go to work every day, do his job, come home at the end of the day, and live your lives. Okay. That's good for people who are just settling for living life. Not just existing, but for living life. But the truth of the matter is, now you've got this burning passion in his heart that says, I want more for my family. I want so much more. You've got to write a vision and make it real plain. What's in your head right now needs to be put on paper. Both personally and professionally. It needs to go on paper. Your goal is to someday your husband's goal is to someday go into business and to provide more for your family. To buy a new home, to make certain that you're going to have a great quality of life. All of that's positive. When you buy a home, you're building wealth. I'm going to tell you something that I don't, because the Lord showed me in that secret place. You haven't taken certain steps. So I'm going to give you certain steps to begin taking. First of all, you're going to have to reevaluate your financial management. So I've often over the years said, you have to run your home like a corporation. You have to run your life like a corporation. You have to decide who's going to be the CEO. And in this case, God has shown me in that secret place, your husband needs to take that role as chief executive officer. You need to decide who's going to be the chief financial officer. You need to decide who's going to be the chief operating officer. You need to decide who's going to be the chief investment officer. You need to decide who's going to be the chief technology officer. You need to set up a C-suite in your home. And you need to begin by pulling job descriptions off the internet for a CEO, a CFO, a COO, a CIO, which is Chief Investment Officer. In some companies, it's Chief Information Officer, a CTO. And you need to decide who's going to serve in each position in your home in that aspect, whether it's going to be you or whether it's going to be your husband. Now, but your husband's going to need to take the role of CEO. Write out the vision. What do you want to accomplish personally and professionally for your home, for your family? And as soon as you've done that, as soon as you've decided who's going to fulfill those roles and make sure you stay in your lane, you're going to need to revise your financial management. So your financial structure is going to need to be revised. You're going to need to draft a budget. If you do not have a budget, email me again and I will send you a budget. And you're going to need to fill out that budget in its entirety. And once that budget has been established, you need to stick to that budget. So you're going to need to reevaluate and restructure your finances. And then you're going to start saving money. And then after you start saving money, I want you to follow these instructions because God showed me in that secret place of your lives. You're going to do nothing but save money for 1 year. For 1 whole year. Once you get the C-suite established, you've got 2 weeks to establish that. July 1st, you're going to begin implementing what you have structured, how you're going to restructure your finances, you're going to fill out that budget, and then you're going to follow the guidelines. You're going to follow the budget, but you're also going to include on that budget saving money. And you're going to save money for a whole year. And then you're going to start investing a little bit at a time. You're going to start investing. And then buying stock in publicly traded companies. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just telling you what God showed me in that secret place of your life. You're going to start investing. Open a Schwab account, a TD Ameritrade account. You're going to start investing. And then once you start investing, you're going to leave that capital in your investment portfolio. You're not going to be buying and selling stocks. You're just going to be buying. You're going to get in the routine of doing that a little bit at a time. And you're going to save money. And then the next step is going to be that you're going to look at purchasing a new home. You're going to sell your home, and you're going to take the capital, the proceeds from the home you're going to sell, the profit, and you're going to reinvest it into another home. And then once you've done that, you're going to begin saving again. After you use part of your savings and the proceeds for a new home, you're going to begin saving again. And in fact, what God wants you to do is use the proceeds for a down payment. And keep your savings separate, because that's what's going to allow you to later go into business. Now you're going to have to decide what type of business you want to own, what type of business you want to pursue. You're going to, whether you're going to purchase a franchise but you're going to save to do that. And you're going to both be working to that end. And what's going to happen is when you see that the vision is in front of you, you will work that vision. You will run towards that vision to accomplish that vision. And to God be the glory. You will achieve much more for your family. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Under Armour Golf, which now powers the Junior League, a national league for boys and girls ages 6 through 18 of all skill levels of golf. Under Armour is advancing the game of golf for all children ages 6 through 18. We are thankful that Under Armour Golf is giving them the opportunity to experience a game that will enhance the quality of life. It will teach them character, integrity. It will teach them STEM capabilities. It will enhance their cognitive skills, and it will allow them to network at a level that they've never been able to network before. You can go to Under Armour, type in the search bar, Under Armour Golf. You can see how you can support the Junior League. And the great thing about Under Armour is they offer other products for health and wellness. Under Armour at Under Armour Golf. UnderArmour.com/golf. I'm going to say to all of our listeners and viewers, as you know, we are in the midst of our nutrition counseling promo. You could win a free nutrition counseling. Listen daily to 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. When you hear the key word or key phrase, once you have heard it, email newlifepastor@comcast.net or text on the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. You could win on June 30th, one listener or viewer, nutrition counseling with Rebecca Buba, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, BeccaTheDietitian.com. Today's 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, is brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. God bless you today. May God keep his face turned towards you. May God give you peace that surpasses all understanding. I look forward to being in your viewing environment tomorrow. Remember, we are not only Facebook Live and YouTube Live now, we are also on RadioFreeNetwork.com at www.radiofreenetwork.com. Click on